Hello, my dingy hyenas. Today we're going to be doing PVC because of numerous reasons, but solenoid valves and basic PVC fittings. My assistant John
Hi.
will be the cameraman today. Alright, now this is your skill set, so make sure you're keeping an eye on what we're doing.
Okay.
What we're doing is installing a solenoid valve for sprinklers, whatever. Standard $20 3/4 solenoid valve. Nothing too spectacular. 2 wires, right, on and off for your solenoid. I already have my wire pulled from my controller, so I've got my water source here, right?
Yep.
So we have an on-off valve. This water comes from the front yard, and because of a remodel we did, we had to redo it. We did this wall.
Okay.
So right now the water's off up front, but we have a shut off in the back in case we bust a line, so we don't have to go all the way back up front. I've put in a cross so that I have a spigot so we can bleed air and hook up a hose. And then my solenoid valves for the sprinklers in one garden is going to come out on this side, and the other garden is going to go up, around, and over to these gardens.
Okay.
So first, we're tied into the sprinkler line over here. This is actually going to the sprinkler in the garden. We've come around to where we're making our junction from our supply point. So there's where the water is going to come from. And if I just turn the water on, the sprinkler would be on all the time. So what you're going to do is you're going to add a timer controlled solenoid valve. So they're 3/4 thread in pieces, which look like this. They come in 1/2 inch, 3/4 supply. Might as well for the extra money. Just for the extra water, it doesn't make sense. So you thread both of those in there. You've got a 90 on one side. You've got a stub piece, which is going to give us the riser to come up. Now you can use blue glue, Christie's, which is hot. And when they say hot, it means it sets super fast. Or there's a clear PVC that is not near as hot, right? It takes longer to set. I use Christie's blue glue, the super hot, mostly because it dries super quick, and with the blue, you can see if you've got the glue everywhere. With the clear, sometimes that's a little difficult, especially in lower light. So we've already put the treatment, which is this wash. The only reason I'm really using the wash today is because I'm tying into existing line and it's dirty. If it was all brand new pipe, you can get away with not using it. In this case, we're using the wash. We're applying the glue to both sides of the fitting. This is important. These valves say which way the water's going. So if my supply is coming this way, I just put the glue on the wrong fitting. Which is fine because I'm going to make another stub piece anyway. Once I find my PVC cutters.
Those?
No, these.
Okay.
I recommend Schedule 80. You can save a couple bucks by going to Schedule 40, but you're not saving yourself any money because it's very thin walled. It's going to break on you that much faster. You're better off just buying the slightly more expensive pipe. Okay, once you get your glue in there, you push it in until it seats. So there you go, there's your stub piece, which should be just about on par with that stub piece. Again, monitoring which way the water's going. Water's coming this way, through the valve, and then in. Get it good and seated, get it straight. There you go. There is a solenoid valve install. Now from the standpoint of wiring, which I would normally do later, but since we're doing a video and John's being helpful, you get your standard sprinkler wire, right, which has multi-strands in it, because you can run multiple valves off one wire sometimes. So the expense of your wire will dictate how many conductors you have in it. Are you watching this, John? Okay. So for instance, this has red, green, blue, white, and black. These are not like house wiring because all they are is a very low voltage from the controller to open and close the solenoid valve.
Interesting.
Which we can see. I'll show you the solenoid valve just because we're talking about it and we're only 5 minutes in. So when you set up a solenoid controlling valve or timer, right, it's important to remember. So commons are going to be on that solenoid. I'm going to have 2 different sets, so I've got 2 greens and then 2 reds. Why did I use red? I don't know, Christmas, whatever. You can use whatever colors you want, but those are the stations, right? So 1 and 2, so that's going to be those 2 solenoid valves, and then the greens are going to be common. So I just need to remember that whenever I attach it to the solenoid valve, which I will show you right now. John, don't wander off. Okay. So, like we said in there, we've got green and we've got red.
Yeah, green, we got red.
So we're going to trim the rest of the stuff back because we don't need it. Again, if we had multiple stations where we were going, we could use all of it. Or we could at least do 5 more stations and tie all the commons together. So we're going to strip them back. There. Our solenoid wires, which you can verify with the book, but typically your wire with the writing on it, right? You can see one of them has writing on it. That is usually your hot wire, which in this case is the red wire because green is common, so basically ground. So this is just a 12-volt system. In some solenoids it doesn't matter because as long as it's got a path through it and then ground, it'll go. So you can test it, you can switch them on the controller later if need be. So there you go. We can do another video a little bit later once we're done getting it all together and show you the sprinklers working. But Dad's doing stuff.